They're back. Yes, let's get right to it.
His companion leans forward, ready to jump in. They're impressed that you dove right into the most advanced parts of the theory. Half an hour evaporates and the conversation is still wending its way toward new and unexpected places. The cool breeze coming off the bay wraps itself around the Capeside apartments in a nearly forgotten part of that glorified construction site, surrounded by rusted pieces of scaffolding and walls of faded tarpaulin. A detective of the RCM debates the intricacies of an abstruse theory with a pair of university students.
But if it's true that this individual possesses so much capital that light literally bends around him, then that must mean... Or it suggests that capital, in sufficient quantities, must exhibit its own plasm-like qualities.
In Innocence of Capital, Puncher and Wortman argue that communists must possess as little capital as possible in order to keep their thinking undiluted by its influence.
Curry's experts will tool it and test it to make sure that it's your old dishwasher at a time that suits you. Our friendly experts will check your plumbing and electrical connections are safe. They'll then disconnect your old dishwasher, unbox the new one, install it and test it to make sure that it's working. As part of our installation process, they'll give you a full demo, and if you've chosen a smart dishwasher, they'll connect it to the Wi-Fi network and install the relevant app on your smartphone or tablet device. Finally, if you've asked us to recycle your old appliance, we'll take that away, and we'll take away the packaging too and recycle that as well. From delivering and installing your new dishwasher to recycling your old one, we can take care of everything. All you need to do to get started is add installation to your basket online or have a chat with one of our tech experts in store. Just make sure you choose recycling at checkout, either online or in store, if you want us to recycle your old dishwasher.
Now the breeze has subsided. All is still except for the last bits of steam rising from the coffee pot.
Well, on that note, I think we can call it an evening.
No, wait.
Yes. One of our better discussions lately, on the whole.
What do you mean, is that it? You've done the reading, we talked about it. What more do you expect from a reading group? Well, you could always ask, I guess.
We probably won't get a better chance. Honestly.
But it's getting late, so maybe pick the most important question.
The question you mean to ask is both very complicated and incredibly simple. The young man waits patiently for you to finish.
Yes?
Say it. The young man considers your words for a minute. There's something going on in there, but his innermost sanctum is still beyond your reach.
The theorists Puncher and Watman, not inframaterialists, but theorists nonetheless, say that communism is a secular version of Pericanassian theology, that it replaces faith in the divine with faith in humanity's future. I have to say, I've never entirely understood what they mean, but I think maybe the answer is in there, somewhere. Then you don't believe in the historic role of the proletariat, which also means you reject the basis of historical materialism.
It means you are not a communist, in other words.
Something else. I guess you could say we believe it because it's impossible. It's our way of saying we refuse to accept that the world has to remain. Like this. Yes, that's a good way to think of it. A work in progress. A thought can be a very powerful thing. That's the whole idea of inframaterialism.
His words aren't really directed at you. He's wrestling with himself now.
Steban, it's getting pretty late.
You're right. We should clean this up and get going. Wait a minute. We wanted to get your opinion on something. A few little changes we've been thinking about. Nothing too major, I think. We were talking potentially about relaxing some parts of our admissions process.
That's interesting. I saw people loved group interviews.
I thought so too, but perhaps we overdid it, just a little. There was another thing. We were also debating putting up some posters around town.
Though some of us maintain that advertising is an unacceptably bourgeois tactic.
That's what makes it so beautiful. The irony is unbeatable. As a noted art cop, you definitely have an opinion on this.
Oh, I like that. We're dismantling the structures of capital with our own tools.
It does sound pretty cool when you describe it like that.
Plus, I've got the perfect place in mind. Put some more coffee on, Uli. We've got a long night ahead of us. We should probably get Cindy in here too. Oh, and Gendarme. One last thing. About that question you asked earlier. It reminded me of a certain poem that you might appreciate.
Ah, so he has read something besides his books of abstruse theory.
It was written by a young communard who was killed on the barricades during the Coalition landings. The story goes that he wrote it on the last night of his life, keeping watch from the barricades in the middle of the night. I don't have the whole thing committed to memory, but there's a line in it I think about sometimes. In dark times, should the stars also go out? Anyway, good night to you. The gendarme returns. What do you need?
The young man,
Nothing.
they're watching this almost with predictable results.
You've...
That
Well,
The delicate, hey,
well, of course, in any case.
medicinal purposes of You spend a moment, contemplate, you flip forward when at this second level, certain because plasma, in other words, why are you getting hung? Most, there you have it, meaning, this should be more, you must. Everyone knows, books save their best parts for the end. If you're like most people, that's not right at all. Thoughts don't exist in the wrong. As during his a true man, but what we may yet discover, he wrote, certainly, in Stay with us, unfortunate building on Nielsen's basic insight. These correct, though certain particulars of the please, that's because this is absolute. No, inframaterial at the lowest. To take one, the difference in these, even today, who's to say the farmers, it's also been postulated that of course, in fact, 8 hours, and of course you want to go deep. The book fits quite snug. You breeze through the next step. When a society's revolutionary fervor, say it, you know you want to. Under suitably, at last, a book gives you the respect. Of course, it's some inframaterialists have even argued that it might, others have argued that in some of his later writings, Nielsen called it, on the following page, another depicts a leaning tower wrapped in a dramatic helix. There is no more. You've reached the out. If you'd like to read further, may we recommend a brief look at Occidental architecture?
The gendarme returns. What do you... Clinching? No,
we think of ourselves as
that's easy. It's a symptom.
His companion can barely suppress a yawn.
No, unfortunately.
His companions.
Yes. Like, can I hold it? It's heavier than I was expecting.
The attitude of a priest bearing one of the holy relics of his faith. Though it is long out, when he's finished, he returns the rifle to you with a nod of appreciation.
What do you mean? This is the reading group. We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
some of our former comrades didn't have the ideology. He's studying
Right.
It was unbelievable.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of We're extremely disappointed.
Susanna said that he has been hanging.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the base, of course you do. Well, it wasn't so much that
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
Go ahead.
Hello again.
getting late, and the bed is comfortable. The place feels almost like home now, quiet and dignified around you. A new life by the seaside. You're incredibly tired. The darkness and warmth come fast. You're falling asleep.
It's easier this time. Drifting off, your head has found a comfortable indent in the pillow. Your legs and your torso feel like lead weights sinking to the bottom of the sea, until they're suddenly light.
This respite. You've earned it, brother. No, this is the one before that. We'll just keep cycling it for you if you don't mind. As long as we can. Spin it like black yarn.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
You're welcome, Harry boy. You earned it.
After centuries of darkness, the alarm rings. But what's this? You actually feel rested. There's no time to cuddle with your pillow, however, or as much as shiver from the cold. The world awaits.
Go.
Yes?
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain? Oh,
Did you take the documents?
no, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. I didn't know where I put it. I'm absolutely sure I was not followed. You mentioned seawater? I was worried I'd been too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away.
Lily? That was his name?
As I already told your partner, I didn't actually know his name. I just called him Lely. It's short for Lelystad, where he came from. Yes, he said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but he never gave it up, no matter how hard I tried.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with.
The young woman cranes the last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
Oh,
It's clear she liked it.
quite a lot, yes. Sure, service history. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though. How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Orani's lit?
He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done. Oh yeah. No thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. Change of topic, perhaps? Yes. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies. It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth.
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember.
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. He was 42.
42, are you sure?
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no. We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
In Oranje, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term.
The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary: cows, silos, and wheat.
You were almost right, officer. That means his race was occidental, not mondial. I'll update the form.
Yes. We were compatriots.
Did that bring you together?
No. He was too old for that. And from another part of Oranjenrijk. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Oranje. It was bad habits.
No love for Muta Oranje? Wasn't he a soldier?
No. He left the National Service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. A people person. Had he passed that test, we wouldn't have gotten along. Come to think of it, maybe it was our hateful Aranya that brought us together. I love Revachol, though.
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee.
Lies.
Yes, we demand she be punished for deceiving us. We demand her anxiety. We demand her fear.
But I haven't done anything. Anything illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. She purposefully misrepresented information crucial to the case. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in. The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no. I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby. She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants. Sex. And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she's romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to... I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
This is a familiar theory. You had it too, remember? Could it be that Ruby was covering up after herself? The lynching? Yet again, you're coming up with this. The worst thing is, it may be true.
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be, to keep the Hardys in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but... You said there was a secret route there, right? She could have come up through there, then taken this shot, right here, where I stand. It was too dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes. She's been up here many times. She used to come to drink on the roof when,
The peephole.
The peephole. My bed is right next to... She would have seen us.
You mean to suggest she made it?
No. No. Why would she do that to herself? No, I just remembered you told me about it, and...
Don't let your imagination run wild here, sire. Keep it on track. Okay. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful. Stop letting her distract you.
Still? After all this, sir, please. It's a shitty world, and I know I'm shitty too. I know. But I don't deserve to be sent to the moral intern and ground into paste just because I disturbed the sanctity of accounting. That's some multinational.
She's gearing up for a last stand. This is it.
I don't know. To spend my days with smoke, drink, and dance, wallowing in shit. You have those station calls, right? Where I have to show up at the station or I'll become a fugitive. You can write me one. You don't have to take me in right now. I promise I won't go out anymore at night. I'll be right here. I know you can do that. Just let me come in on my own. In 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. That's all I need.
You do have the form.
That's it. I'm calling it. Kim is beyond compromise. Definitely, sire.
Everything could change. This city, the extradition rules, the people after me could be in jail. Or maybe Ravishal.
There is desperation there, in that silence. A cornered animal looking for a way out.
Maybe Ravishal could be free. I could be tried in a free Ravishal. An independent state that doesn't hand its detainees over to the moral intern.
A free Revachol. There is a low, distant rumble on the motor tracks. A great machine shaking the pillars down south. Electricity runs up your spine.
I find that hard to believe, miss.
It's coming.
Don't. The world.
That's not the answer she was hoping for. Thought that you were some kind of patriot or communard, did she? This was her last card. There is nothing more she can say. The final decision is yours. You alone stand on the throne of your mind. She looks at you in silence, her face filled with fear, lips parted. Wait. If you arrest her, Kim will have to transport her. You'd be without your partner for the rest of the day. Shut up. He's making a decision, and it's his to make.
I will escort you to the motor carriage outside, miss.
With a muffled whimper, she extends her wrists. They're white, bony, exposed below the rolled-up sleeves of her jumpsuit.
This won't be necessary. I will take you to Station 57 myself and slow the extra. It may be possible to stall it indefinitely, but you will be safer there for the purposes of this investigation. I can do this on my own. She's not an immediate flight risk. See you tomorrow morning, officer. Downstairs at the Whirling in Rags. Or outside your shack.
Always a pleasure to see.
Just dragged her away, huh? Stone cold. Didn't think you had it in you. Yeah, you ruthless son of a bitch. I certainly didn't have it in me. I always let the pretty ones go. I'm soft like that.
Yeah, like when we let old Clancy's widow walk.
Oh, Denise, the diner girl. The milk rack on that one.
Can't say I wasn't sad to see her go. Our Clausia there. Her face when your friend walked her out. Goddamn. Goddamn you, son boy. I guess there's nothing to do about it now. I just hope she can game her way through the system and come out the other way. Don't think I forgot how I specifically let you know how I felt about her arrest either. Now, what do you want?
His tone is friendly now.
Yeah?
Oh, look. It's the cop who turned me into a bad person. Nope. Don't smoke. Some of the other drivers...
Yup. Nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You left the ask around elsewhere.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit.
Ease into it. Don't go too far.
You really are the law, aren't you? I get that being bluntly observant and inquisitive comes with the territory, but it certainly doesn't help with your conversational skills, does it?
Just like that, he slips out of your reach. It is possible the yelling didn't help. The old king and his horse have been covered in posters with radical slogans like "No kings, no bosses," and "Again and once more after that." At the bottom of the posters, in smaller lettering, are details about meeting at a local coffee house.
Right to work!
Hold on, Wandering Man.
Yes, what is it? What? No, no one...
She has not seen her.
Yes?
getting ridiculous.
There's a solution, but she doesn't want to hand it over to you yet.
Thanks.
You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operating. Calling. Call it.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. You got the wrong number. Don't call here again.
Disconnect tone. Calling.
I'm tired.